Crime in Mexico City, like I was in outskirts. It wasn't Mexico City. It was just in the state of Mexico, but that's just what the mission was called. So it's Mexico City. But crime isn't really crazy. I only ever had one dangerous experience, and that's just where a drunk guy was walking down the desert road that we were coming down with. We just finished with church. We are going to go to lunch. The members feed you lunch there. And so we were walking, and the guy's like, "Hey, elders." And so there's three words. There's either white guy or something like that, and then there's brothers. And so if they say brothers, they kind of know who you are, but they're not really any kind of close to the church. And so we try to be careful with those ones. But if they say elders, that's when they're like, oh, they probably talked to elders before, because that's what we're called. And so we stopped and we said hello. And so he came up, and so he's like, "How you doing?" And so he grabbed my hand, and then at that moment he also put his arm around my shoulder and then grabbed my tie. And at that moment he then pulled out a knife out of his pocket and put it to my side and said, "Give me 20 pesos." And 20 pesos isn't a lot of money. This has never happened before, so I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, "I'll give you 20 pesos, yeah, no problem." But unfortunately that day I wore my suit pants because we had a baptism, and so we're dressing nice, and all the coins always fell out of my pocket. And so I stuck all my coins and everything in my backpack. And of course, that exact same day as well, my companion forgot his wallet, and so I was just paying for his bus tickets, so he didn't have anything. So while that's happening, my companion's just trying to distract him, so he's just showing him stuff, hey, blah, 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 blah. And then all at the same moment, and so we know that God did help us with this, all at the same moment, I pushed off of him, and then when he went to go try to stab me, my companion grabbed his wrist, and then grabbed the blade, and then broke the blade with his hand, and then threw the blade into the bushes. And then after that, I jumped on top of him, and then like, just kind of held him there on the ground, and then we both jumped up, and we could already see his friends coming down from the hill, probably more concerned than mad because they knew he was drunk. And so there's like, these two guys are going to beat up our friend, and so they were running down, and so we just backed up, and then everyone just kind of stopped. But that was the only experience ever on my mission, and that was only because just all at the wrong time. Everything happened, but I knew we had something to learn from that because everything worked to our advantage as well. So no one got hurt, nothing happened bad, but we did see the miracle that day, and we went to lunch afterwards a little shucking up, but it was fine after that. After we ate, kind of calmed down, got some water in us, but that was a pretty crazy experience. No, yeah, he didn't break his hand at all, nothing, and it was I think it was a kitchen knife, and so it was just like a normal. I wasn't really looking at the knife. I was trying to think of how to get out, but it was that big from what I remember. Just one of those probably steak knives so that you could just cut your food. It was just a normal one. It wasn't like a butter knife, so it was a real knife. And so that's why we were really surprised they didn't cut his hand at all, and it felt like it just came out really easy. Threw it in the bushes, and we went back afterwards to try to find the blade, but we didn't find it. So we don't know where that went.